Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Chair Yoga and Meditation. Let's begin our transition time. Oh, and by the way, I am going to use the cloth for some work with the shoulders. So if you didn't grab that, please make your way over and get that so you'll have it handy and you can use it when it's time. As I have said many times, and I'm saying it again today, I find the best way to transition into yoga is with a pranayama that takes some doing, that takes some focus. And the thing is that learning these specific breath practices, I'm hoping has been useful for you outside of this, environment, that you remember them, you recognize their worth in terms of regulating yourself, and that you kind of have them at the ready. You've learned some things about how to settle down and bring yourself into right alignment in the ways that is considered. So sit up tall, make sure you're using your good posture. And I suggest, if you've got your block handy, that you go ahead and put that in between your legs, so it just helps you to feel the alignment and the kind of connection to that block that maybe has become a source of regulating, that it just means something to you. That is true for me. I think I mentioned that last week, that it just becomes a way to you're gathering all the things that help you align and that just serve you well in that regard. And the breath practice I want to use today is a simple one in terms of what's happening with the inhale and the exhale. What's going to be different, a practice I did over the weekend with some, which I love the fact that you can have somebody, right? I oftentimes put my earbuds in to listen to a teacher so that it's like coming right in, and I'm hearing all the words. I haven't missed anything. Anyway, her technique that she used was to count, to use words and counting. So, like this, you take a big inhale, you're saying inhale, inhale, exhale. That's one. Inhale, inhale more, exhale. That's two. So, however you want to add your number in, but use the words inhale, inhale, use the word to exhale. And somewhere in there, maybe you start one, inhale, inhale, exhale. Two, you know what I'm saying? So count and use the words to define your breath. And we're going to take two inhales, take two, drawing in, exhale all the way out, and count it. So let's begin with that. So you're saying to yourself what you're doing and that you're counting. Just keep going. I'll stop us when we've done several. Just count them. If you lose your way, you forgot your count, start over at one. Eyes open or closed. Stay with it. Exhale completely every time. Two more. And then let your breath just regulate itself into its normal rhythm. Eyes open now for a moment. Let's find that lotus mudra. Thumbs come together, pinky fingers and the butt of your hands together. You're creating a little vessel. Fingers are spread apart like petals of a flower, and we're bringing that right into the chest bone. The thumbs are coming right into the chest bone. So keep your fingers extended. Maybe just soften them a bit. You don't need to be real stiff about this, but hands in the lotus mudra as we open to receive the benefits and the blessings of this practice. Take a moment now to set your intention with this mudra helping you. Relax your mouth, soften your shoulders. And so it is. Let's move to another mudra as we just lay your palm over palm. See how you can bring your thumbs together and just lay your hands in a way that they sometimes call this the butterfly mudra. So thumbs are together and we just laid our palms into the chest at the heart center. So we can feel what it's like to be located in the heart. And, we can breathe in and out from the heart. I think it's a pretty easy access. You see what you can do. That you've moved your breath. So it feels like the heart is the function, it, carries the function of breath instead of the lungs. It just you just moved it like that into your heart space. So you can feel the rise and the fall of your chest, even if it's just ever so slight. Breathe into the heart now. Excellent. One more now. This one's going to get us warmed up a little bit more. So as we move out of that one, I want you to just touch your shoulders, just a nice touch of the shoulders. Elbows are elevated, to maybe the armpit height. Take an inhale as you turn towards your right and an exhale as you turn towards your left. So inhale, exhale. Try to keep your arms in that position. You're not going to slouch them down. I say turn your whole body, let your head turn. Don't try to keep your head still unless that feels better for your neck for some reason, or that it makes you dizzy to do it. Sometimes that shows up. So if you can turn with it, it's fine. It's great. If you need to keep your head still, that's okay too. So I want you to switch now so that your inhale is coming from the other side. So you started your inhale and then you change it. So you've just switched which direction you started the inhale and the exhale. Couple more. When you come back to center, just take a pause. Let's make some circles with those elbows. Move your head any way you need to now. And then change the direction of the movement of your arms. And let's sync up the breath. Inhale with me, palms together overhead. Look up. Exhale, bow at your own heart. Inhale, back up. And exhale, take your backstroke all the way down and around. We're going to land with our arms alongside the chair. Let me get my cloth here. So our arms and hands are alongside the frame of the chair. I want you to tilt your pelvis, tilt, and pull your hands back so you can start to feel the arch of your back body. But let's start with that tilt of the pelvis in our cow pose. Find your breath. Already we're in a posture that has really expanded our area around our lungs. So just noticing that. Try to make peace with that because it's not the way you usually feel. I get that. So it feels a little off-putting, like a lot of work. Just relax into it. No, you can expand. You can do that. You can expand that area, even if it's just a little bit. Feel the tilt of your pelvis. And be sure you're noticing your breath coming in and out. Good. And then just relax your hands. I put them right on my kneecaps. I want to keep shoulders right above the hips. I don't want to pull forward. So I keep my arms fully extended. Now tuck your pelvis. So you've just scooped under with your tailbone and you feel how the curve of the lumbar, that low back curve, you've practically eliminated it by tucking and then round into a C-shaped curve. Round the rest of your back into a C-shaped curve. But it all started with that tuck of the pelvis. Breathing both in and out, feeling the shape. Pull your belly in. I say the same things all the time, but I really want you to get this. Squeezing that block now is a perfect opportunity to do the work of the perineum, of toning the perineum, using the Mula Bandha. It's perfect for the cat pose. So I highly recommend that you weave that in to the vinyasa. So let's begin with that tilt of the pelvis. Exhale, round the back, tuck the pelvis. So that's the movement. You're very familiar with it. You match up inhale with that extension of the spine, and your exhale is the C-shaped curve accompanied by the toning of that pelvic floor. So stay with it and focus on what you're doing. If you got to slow it way down so that you can really feel the movements and extend your breath, please do that. It's worth your while. It is a pumping action. So you're encouraging the energy that is stored in your pelvic bowl to be distributed throughout your body. It's your pace. It matches up with your rhythm of breathing. Last time, go through both of them. Come back up. Let's get hands to come together overhead. Look up if that feels okay. Exhale, we bow at the heart. Inhale, we lift up, and exhale, we open the heart by bringing our elbows into that shape of a W. So inhale lifts up, palms maybe just face forward. You're just noticing that. It doesn't matter how you're holding your hands necessarily, except for that it does change the bony structure. And so you know that that's a dial you can turn. You can change it and feel something different in your body because you moved your hands. So I don't have to pick it. I don't have to be the one that chooses how you're holding your hands, but I want you to. I want you to choose it. Opening the heart. Inhaling up. Exhale, we bend into those like a W shape and really feel the movement of your shoulder blades. Both hands up in the air. Let's just alternate. Straight arms coming up and down. You're going to just alternate. Keep your arms as close to your head as you can. Push your feet to the floor so you feel strong in the lower part of your body too. It's an anchor for you. It's a real stabilizing effect. Find the rhythm of your breath. Find where it feels best and right to inhale and where it feels best and right to exhale. And you're just noticing that. Turning your head, I shouldn't say turn, lifting your head so you're looking up sometimes. Great. If that just feels natural to do that, you want to lift your face up and stretch your neck a little bit like that. Follow the lead. Follow that Guru Dev. Both hands up. Open the heart again a few times. So inhales up. Exhale, we bend the elbows to open the heart. Feel those shoulder blades pull toward each other. And hold it in that bent elbow, breathing in and out. Now extend, palms face up. Spread your hands apart, fingers spread apart, thumb pointing behind you, back into that imaginary wall. Make sure you haven't pulled yourself forward. So you got to kind of get your head back there. So it feels like the back of your head is more in line with your spine. Now take a turn. You're going to look over, move your head so you have to stretch your neck, and you look down and you look around. So you're getting lots of stretching in your neck. Stay with one side for a while till you feel like you've given it some attention, you've loosened it up a little bit, and go to the other side when you're ready. You don't need to wait for my cue. You're just investigating the movement in your neck. How's it going today? How does it feel? Be gentle and be alert so you don't move in a way that's harmful, because you're just very alert. You know your body. Let's flip our hands so palms are facing forward and try a diagonal line with your arms. Now you have to really double check that both arms are in the same plane. what I see when I'm with people is they pull that back arm, the lower arm is pulled back. For some reason, that just seems to be the natural place people land. And I want you to make sure that's not happening. So your hands, or excuse me, your arms are in a single plane. Now, think about that imaginary wall that you're kind of even trying to get your hands to touch. The back of your hands maybe are touching that imaginary wall. And take your head wherever you want. You can be looking up or down or keeping your head neutral. So I'm going to leave that up to you, what to do with the turn of the head. I'll tell you what I'm just experiencing in my body is that I started losing my balance left to right in my pelvis. Check in with that. See if your arms extended like this pulled you off of that balance. Level that out so both sides feel connected to the chair. Finish the breath you're on, and then let's just try the other diagonal line. You got to make sure those arms are in a single plane. You kind of back into that imaginary wall. It's just a slight movement, but you can feel the difference. Hands are really open. And you're going to, again, choose how you're going to turn your head and breathe into this. Make sure you're balanced in your pelvis. Give the block a little squeeze. And then smooth out the breath so it's a nice full inhale and a nice full exhale. It's the exhale, isn't it? That's when you just know you've realized this. You've actually come into a place of realization of how this feels, what you're kind of benefiting, how this is in the body. You got to add that full exhalation. Excellent. Palms together overhead. Exhale, bow at the heart. Inhale, back up. And exhale, take your backstroke. Let's locate our cloth. And I think we could lose the block for now and take a little wider stand. Heels in, toes out. You're not too wide of the chair, just a little bit wider with your feet. Definitely wider between your knees. So we want the cloth in its longest way. So it's a diagonal grab, and then let's just get it up there. Get your head up against that imaginary wall kind of thing. So you got your elbow up, but don't duck. So if you're finding to get your elbow up, your head wants to come forward, you might have to adjust that arm because we want the head to be right in line with the spine, straight up. And then we're going to get the other hand. I always turn it so the palm faces forward, my thumb is pointing down. It's just a quick action. And then I grab hold of the cloth back there. So start walking your fingers toward each other with the cloth's help till there's no place else to go. You're as far to, as close together as you can. That's where it is. And then breathe into that. Push your feet to the floor. Let's engage the belly wall. You could engage your Bandha pathway. That's where we are aware of the pelvic floor squeezing up. It squeezes in and up toward the belly button. That's the Bandha pathway. That'd be excellent right here. I'm doing that by pushing my feet to the floor. That's a real help to me to engage that musculature I just mentioned is push my feet now so I can feel those inner thighs and I pull in and up. Finish every breath all the way through. You can do it. Release your lower hand and then let's bring it back. We're going to switch, but I want you to do some shoulder rolls in the between, letting your head move however it wants to. Stay with the same movement of the shoulders several times, and the head is just moving the way it wants to. Keep breathing. Let's change the direction of the shoulder movement, of the shoulder rolls now. Just, again, if your head wants to move, you want to do that, but stay with the same new direction of the shoulder roll. You got it. All right, side two. So we get a hold of that, lift it up, drop behind us. We got to make sure our head is upright. So however you can do that and still get your arm as close to your head as you can manage. The thumb points down, we sweep it back there and grab hold and start moving our hands by, the fingers just start crawling into that cloth so they can get closer together. Feel that, how it's felt in your shoulder. Keep your head upright. Adjust your arms. Don't adjust your head. Keep your head up. Your arms can adjust if you need to. And then let's just hold that as we use the Bandha pathway to support it. Pushing your feet to the floor, you can move your awareness into those inner thigh muscles, right up into the pelvic floor, that connective tissue at the base of the body, considered the root of the body. And you're pulling in and up toward the belly button as you can. So when I'm inhaling, when I'm exhaling, when am I, you're just kind of figure, technically, according to the physical therapists I have consulted about this, it's the exhalation that would do us the most good, that we're engaging all that stuff while we're exhaling. Who knew? But I trust their answer. We're just holding ourselves in this shape, and the upper body is doing its thing, stretching through the shoulders, much more range of movement, hopefully. And at the very same time, you're using the Bandha pathway to stabilize your body. Relax your mouth. Don't need tension in your face. One more good breath. Let's release that lower hand. Now, just saying, I like, what you get benefit of is I give you the tutorial of what I'm experiencing. This shoulder, that was tight to move that, and now it feels better. And then we'll release. We are done with that. So you can discard that if you want, do it under your chair or whatever. And again, we're going to do some shoulder rolls. Keep yourself upright, balanced in the pelvis. Let's change the direction of those shoulder rolls. Let your head move as it wants to. Good, and let's find our way back with our fingertips onto our shoulders and take that inhale and exhale. Inhale. I have to really scoot forward because the back of my chair kind of gets in the way for my turns. So you're going to have to manage that given what the chair you're using. Maybe your elbows have to come up a little higher. Let this be easy. You're not trying to win a race. You're just turning and feeling it and breathing. Now, if you notice which side you're taking your inhale from, take a moment to stop and then reset it. So you're taking your inhale from the new side. You're just changing your breath, taking your inhale from the new side. A lot of breath awareness today. Good, let's come back to center. Take a little dip so you can touch your knee or your thigh. And if that's easy peasy, I could touch my knee and my thigh without any effort. Go lower then. Go right past your leg. So you're off to the side of your leg. Go as low into that as you can. And you got to pull yourself back up. That is the key. That's how we're using our side muscles here, is to pull us back up. Gravity helps on the down. When you're going down, it's sort of you got the advantage of gravity pulling you, but you're acting against gravity when you bring yourself back up. Let's crisscross. So when you're ready, shift it. Now, if your wrists are bothering you because we're doing this, you can do anything with your hand. Maybe you make a little fist. You don't even touch your shoulders. That's okay. This too, you could dip beyond your leg. It doesn't have to rest. If you go way to the side of your leg, you can play with that and give yourself the challenge that you might want. Last one on each side. We've given a tap to each knee, and we come back out. Release your arms into that T shape. I've got palms down, and then we're going to go very slow as we bring our arms alongside the frame of the chair again, and feel how that letting go feels in your body. And then just wait with those heavy arms alongside the frame of the chair. You hold yourself up, but you can really feel the release of all that activity in your shoulders and in your arms. Let's get a hold of our underside of our legs and lift your legs up. Just start with what you can. Flex the feet, lift up. Try not to go so far back. I see that in myself. See if you can do it in a way that feels like you're still very upright. And you're just trying to lift your leg up as much as you can. What we're going for is that our shins are parallel to the floor, that we've lifted at least high enough that our shins are, parallel to the floor. They're not, this isn't quite cutting that, is it? So we get them up a little higher, see if we can get the shins parallel to the floor. Next time you have your left leg up in the air, lift it higher, bring your chest forward. I'm really holding on to the underside of my thigh. You don't have to, though. If you're kind of doing this all on your own strength and own balance that you've created for yourself, great. Then we're going to cross that over so you're kind of at a diagonal place with your legs, but not your shoulders. Your shoulders and your head are still forward facing, but you've created a little diagonal angle here in the lower body. Really bind your legs together. Make sure they feel like they're really connected. It feels purposeful. So your knees are going one way, your feet are going one way. We're going to twist our upper body the other way. Let's take that hand and again, thumb down, and we bring it behind us so you can push the back of the hand into your back body. So we're not as reliant, right this minute, we're not as reliant on the use of the chair. That's an option I've offered. If you prefer and can do it better and you feel more successful when you really utilize that chair for this kind of thing, do it, of course. Let's smooth out the breath. Feel this in your body. When you push the hand into the back body, where do you feel that? And can you get some more of that? More of that sensation? Do you feel balanced in your pelvis right to left? Left to right? Do you feel like you're balanced? You haven't lost that connection to the chair. And you're turning your head as much as your neck and shoulders will let you. Be slow with that. Don't try to push yourself into it or bully yourself into that. It's just an invitation. See what kind of range of movement you can find. Let's exhale completely. Bring our head back to neutral. And then our shoulders and our arms. And we got both feet on the floor. Let's kind of circle that out through the pelvis. Not so much the upper body doing its big old circles. See if you can just limit the movement to the pelvis circling around like a hula hoop. And then change the direction of that. We're going to go back to our leg lifts, just so we can build up that energy again. And switch sides now. So other leg is up in the air, high, high, high. And we cross over, bind those legs together. I got a lot of shirt here. And bring yourself into your twist. So upper body is turning. We're going to take the back of our hand, pulling it back. Oh, on this side, I can bring it way around. That's cool. Balance through the pelvis. Feel this in your shoulders. If you're like me, I use the imaginary wall quite a bit. So I feel more upright because I have a tendency to sort of pull forward just a little. And I like to keep upright. Smooth out that breath. Where do you feel it when you push your hand into your back body? Try to get some more of that sensation. Keep pushing. Deepen the breath. Good. Let's turn our head out of that twist, and then our arms and shoulders come out of it. We're kind of all teed up here for a figure four. So make sure your standing leg is well positioned and you've got your ankle resting on your thigh. in toward the crease of the leg as much as your knee will give you. Because for me, that knee, that's a super bent knee, right? I mean, your knee is practically, as folded in as it possibly can be. So that's part of what you're contending with. So massage that knee a little bit. You can get right on along the outside of it. Just kind of massage that. Give some attention to your ankle. So when you're holding it here, you're aware that your ankle is being supported. And we're going to grab hold of our shins. Keep your elbows in. I don't want this. I want you to keep your elbows in and then bring the chest bone forward and back. Chest, 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 not your chin, not your face. This is up to you in terms of the movement. Maybe you fold forward and it feels pretty good. You're going to just fold and hold and stretch and kind of liken that. Or maybe for you, the movement is much more acceptable in your body. There's not so much resistance. So you're sort of rocking in and out of it. Hey, spread the toes of this foot that's up there. Spread the toes. That's going to change things. And it really supports the health of your knee. That knee joint is protected when we engage the toes like that. Chest bone, not your face, leads the way. Let's everybody fold and hold. You're in the deepest fold you can. Maybe you have now let your hands and arms release and they're going in the direction of the floor. Maybe holding onto your shin is a much better place for you. Finish every breath. You feel the inhale, you feel the exhale. Here's a challenge. Count 3 now. Inhale and exhale. That's 1. Do it just like we started with. Big inhale and exhale. We count. We're not doing the double inhales. I'm just suggesting you count and use the awareness of the breath by saying it to yourself. Inhale, exhale. Nice job. Come back up. All right, without using your hands, let's get that foot back to the floor. Any movement you need to do to kind of unwind from that. Let's get the other leg up. So again, ease your way in. You're pulling that heel in toward that crease where your leg meets your hip, and we'll get that settled in. Let's flex the foot. Balance in your pelvis, right? We lifted a leg up. It might have a tendency to get us off balance. So see if you can correct that so you feel a little more balanced. Holding onto your shins, elbows in. It's the chest bone that leads the way. It could be very different on this side. It certainly is for me. So pay attention. You don't need to look at me. You're just feeling your way into this, choosing how you're going to participate. Paying attention to how your knee is very much involved. It's not just hip opening. Your knee is very much involved. I know that. Flex this foot. Keep your toes engaged. Chest bone leads the way. Relax your face. Let's everybody fold and hold. So stay in the folded position towards your front leg. And some of you might want to drape your arms past your shin. Let's count the breath. Say inhale and exhale. Count that 1 and 2. You're using all those words, counting, identifying the breath, holding the pose. A couple more counts. Nice job. And bring yourself back up. Right, no hands. We'll get that foot to the floor and shake that out a little bit. All right, let's just do a little quick warm up with straight arms and straight legs. Inhaling up, kick that leg out in front of you. So inhale is lift, kick is on the exhale. This is a nice one to do at fairly quick pace, but you get to name it, you get to choose it. Big lift, really strong in your spine. That's it. And you're within the frame of the chair. Don't go wild with your legs. Your arms and your legs are kicking right out in front of you. So you're working within the frame of the chair. Okay, both arms up, feet are on the floor. Inhale up, exhale all the way down and back. Lift up, inhale, exhale down and back. Inhale up, we're going to stand up now. Exhale down and back. Inhale, lift yourself out of that chair and come back to the seat. So really take your time. Inhale, lift yourself out of that chair, down and back onto the chair. Here we go, all the way up. Palms come together. Exhale, bow at your heart. Inhale, back up. Exhale, all the way down and around. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. And the block is under my chair. Take a little wider stance now, heels in, toes out, just to shimmy those hips around and bend into the knees. Now this next one, I don't use this chair for support on, but you might want to. And here's what I came up with if you need the chair for support, is that it's at the side of you. So if that's, I'm just suggesting, here's what we're doing and you can figure it out for yourself. And it's this, we bring ourselves into a place where we can tap on our heels. I want to do 2 taps behind us. It's a balance. And you could have the chair and the tapping has to change a little bit. So get that rhythm figured out where your knee is bent and you're trying to reach back there and touch. I kind of slap the heel. All right, now we know how to do that one. How about out front? So now that the bent knee is bringing our foot in front of us, and then I want you to just sort of play around with that, where maybe you're doing one of each, back and front, finding a little pattern that you can do. Focus on you. Don't look at me. Use the chair any way you need to. That's why it's there. Keep going. We're going. Last one. Okay, we're down, right? I mean, even the shoulders and the arms, any kind of reset you need, let's do it. So we're going to need the chair with our high side available. Seat is away from us. Let's stretch that out into the L-shaped stretch. So you're bringing your hands to the top of your back of your chair. And here we go, L-shape. You can use your block between your lower legs if you want to, but I'm going to imagine it. I'm going to imagine I've got a block there and I'm squeezing shins in. Feeling the whole surface of the feet, including your toes, making an imprint. Now stretch through the buttocks. The back has flattened out into a tabletop. Can you feel your armpits? Can you feel that? Deepen your armpits. Now don't stop and think, what? Just whatever it feels like, okay, deepen my armpits. See what you can do to deepen that. I'm telling you, it's working. Keep stretching through the buttocks. Deepening your armpits at the same time. Smooth out your breath. Finish this breath all the way through. Start walking forward slowly. Right foot is going to take the lead. It's got a bent knee. The back foot is back there. You've scissored your legs. As best you can, that back foot is pointing toward the chair. The toes are not pointing out. They're pointing toward the chair as best you can. It's easy to get the front leg's toes pointing in that direction, but the back leg wants to do something different. So square yourself to the chair. Deepen that front bend of the knee. Deepen into that as much as your body will give you while maintaining the heel down onto the floor behind you. And then feel it in your body. Where are you feeling that stretch? Breathe into all that you're feeling. If your hips are saying, I can sure feel it. Wherever you're feeling some stretching, some feedback, that's where you're directing your breath. The left leg is behind. We want straight arm, straight leg. So that means the left arm is going to reach up. I put a mitten hand on here. So we're really lengthening through the straightness of that leg and the straightness of the arm. And you're letting your hips move toward that chair. Look up if that feels good for your neck. And you always can keep your right hand right on the chair. It's very steadying. I don't think you need to avoid that. It feels good. Keep pulling that arm back, and it's fully lengthened. You can feel your armpit opening up. Now, see it? I'm going to invite you. Could you deepen that armpit right now? Get in there with an awareness that you're somehow connecting your arm into its socket better just by your awareness. One more full breath. Come out. Let's get both feet together. Take your time. Do a couple butt kicks where you bend your knees and you're kind of aiming your heel towards your bottom. Let's do the other side where the left foot takes the lead. Right foot steps back. Bend into the left knee now. It's as wide a stance as you can make it, deeply bending into that front knee. Hips are squared away, facing the chair. Both feet have to maintain the connection to the floor. Let's settle into the rhythm of our breath. Feeling it now, feeling it on this side. Where's the stretch? Where's the feedback? Try to breathe into that. So you're settling into the resistance. You're not letting that resistance pull you out. You're calming it with the breath. So straight armed, straight legs. We match up. Our right arm is pulling back because it's our right straight leg. Put the mitten hand back on. Keep your hips kind of drawing, both sides of your hips, not just the right side, but your pelvis is pushing toward the chair, ever so slight, but definitely doing it. Connect with your breath. Deepen your armpit. Full breath in, followed by a full breath out. Maybe you're saying it. Full breath in, full breath out. Feet are very connected to the ground. You can feel that. It makes a difference. You feel steady because of that connection. Excellent. Let's get that arm down. When we step back, go slow. Find that L-shaped stretch again. Go slow. Hinging at the hips, strengthening and lengthening through the spine. Plant your feet. Pull the buttocks back. Keep your chin sort of tucked in towards your throat. Smooth out the breath in and out. Breathing in and all the way out. Stretching through the buttocks. Lengthening and strengthening your spine. Let's start walking toward the chair. Meet me in a mountain pose. So we got to imagine we've got a block between our lower legs. Make sure your feet are straight. They're parallel to one another. Palms face forward. There's a little bend of your knees. Get real strong in the belly wall. Very strong. Right through the navel area. Just getting real strong in the belly. Not so much so that it affects your breath, that all of a sudden you can't breathe very well, but enough that you're thinking, that's different. That's definitely on. I turned that belly wall on, no doubt. Now breathe through the length of your body. Imagine it. Maybe eyes closed will help to imagine the breath moving through your whole body. You can feel that the breath is servicing your whole body, all of the cells, tissue, all of the bones. Yep. Excellent. Let's open the eyes. Inhale with me, palms together overhead. Exhale, we bow at the heart. Inhale back up. Exhale, come all the way down and around. I want you to go back to slapping your heel. We're going to see if you can find that again. Maybe you start back and then you add a front. So find that pattern again. You can kind of see how you can give yourself more challenge by how high you lift your leg and how much you kind of twist so you can get a touch in there on the back. Your pattern, not mine. You're just finding the balance and what mind-body connection does for you when you're centered, stabilized, connected to your breath like you are. Finish it up. Let's do a little swerving or swirling around. I think the word I'm looking for, that movement of the pelvis, and change the direction of that. We're going to finish it up with a pretty challenging pose. So I'm going to turn to the side. You probably don't need to do anything different. I want you to see this. I've got my feet a little closer together, not a lot, but they're definitely a little closer together. Squat like as if you were going to sit into a chair. This is chair pose, Uttanasana, for those of you who are interested in the Sanskrit. And you could hold on to the chair here, for example. You can really feel it in your thighs. The most challenging version of it to me is arms up. Squeeze the imaginary block between your thighs. And then let's go all the way to a forward fold. For those of you who want to participate, hang down like a rag doll, looking between your legs down and under. You're surrendering the top of your head toward the floor. We won't be here long. Let's give it a breath in, a breath out, 2 more like that. Bend your knees again when you finish your breathing, and you're bringing yourself up. You're back into the chair squat. So you still have your knees bent. The weight of your body has pulled way back toward the back of you. So it's not in your knees. And if you can't do it without that your knees are bothering you, just skipping this part, you're not doing it at all. So if you can hold your body way back away from your knees, let's bring the hands to the prayer position. And now we're going to do a twist where we bring our elbow down to our outside of our knee. Finish that breath. Come to center. Go to the other side. Real good contact with that elbow in your leg. It's going to steady you. Nice. Back to center. Let's come up slowly. I'm keeping my hands in the prayer position just as an additional challenge. All the way up, take a pause. Smooth out your breath. Inhale. Exhale, bow. Inhale up. Exhale all the way down and around. Some more shoulder rolls. Move your head as you need to. And now it's time for Shavasana. So make your way to your chair, back into your chair, and get as much support as you like having. So if you want to have, what I'm going to do is put socks on, that kind of thing. Get a drink of water. Of course, any movement your body needs that I didn't get to, but you're just like, got to get something worked out. Be sure you do that before you try to settle into Shavasana, because you won't relax as much because you'll still be bothered by that. So just let your body have what it needs by adding any additional stretches or movements that you need. Want to really use your chair or use the surface that's supporting you. So if you've stretched out on your sofa, some people, I have a number of people that stretch out on the floor in yoga class here. So whatever you do to find your place for Shavasana, be fussy so you feel really comfortable at it. Otherwise, it'll just distract you. You'll just be just off a little bit, just like, it just wasn't great because I wasn't that comfortable. And just like when we transition into the beginning of our class, the breath is really useful for this transition into this final relaxation and meditation. I'm going to encourage you to use the box breath. Your breath awareness is a count of 4, inhaling. The pause is also a count of 4. The exhale, a count of 4. Pause, 4. So you're drawing that box with your breath. That's the image I use. Inhaling, a count of 4. Pause, count of 4. Exhaling, a count of 4. Pause, another count of 4. So you're doing the counting on purpose as a way of disciplining yourself, bringing yourself into full connection to your breath and to this moment. It's a technique. It's useful. So don't shun it. Don't put it aside like, what, that doesn't matter. Just trust it. Trust it. It's beneficial. It can be very beneficial. And we're not going to do it the whole time. We're just going to let it escort us into this final relaxation and time for meditation. And feeling your body sinking deeper and deeper into the support that's beneath you, to the point where you can really literally feel like you are being held. That chair, that sofa, the floor, the bed, it's holding you. Can you imagine that as you breathe this box breath? That you are being held. Now let that breathing and the counting go. So now the breath has taken care of itself. And you're noticing the calm that's left in your body as your breath has just settled into its restful rhythm. You might take a few breaths before you're totally settled in. Just don't, be patient with that. It's okay. It will find its natural rhythm of breath while you are deeply relaxed. If you have a particular area of your body that you can identify, you hold tension there, I want you to be very kind and supportive of that part of your body. Maybe you bring your hand, smooth it out, pat it, and just invite more softness. So meet that area of your body with tender, loving care. Again, noticing how the surface beneath you is supporting you to the point where you feel absolutely you are being held. Noticing your easy breath, your calming breath. If your mind is still wandering quite a bit, don't be judgmental about that. It's okay. Let's use a mantra. Inhale the word calm. Exhale the word ease. So you're breathing calm and ease into your body. All is well. Relax your shoulders, soften your belly, relax your hands and your feet. Tender, loving care. We're in that state. Tender, loving care for yourself, for your body, for your heart and your mind. I'm reading from The Promise of a New Day. This is the December 1st reading. It begins with a quote from Chuang Tzu. The still mind of the sage is a mirror of heaven and earth, the glass of all things. In our own personal stillness, we find the solutions to the challenges facing us. We need to be willing to be quiet and turn our attention inward. No information we need eludes us for long when we dwell in the stillness. Our opportunities for growth are hidden within the challenges that attract our attention. We need these if we are to contribute to the world. No challenge is beyond our capabilities or strength, and everyone can be handled with relative ease if we have sought the comfort of the stillness. The wisdom we admire in others is the birthright of us all. Each of us is a channel to full knowledge. Any of us may be gifted with the wisdom to understand the present clearly. If we choose to exercise the commitment to move within ourselves to the stillness, to the heart of all knowledge of the past, the present, and the future. I'll have the answers I need when I need them if I turn within for them. And to this I say, Amen, Amen, Amen. Continuing in that state of tender, loving care for a little bit longer. Breathing calm and ease into your body, mind, and heart. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale it out of your body with a big sigh. Ah. Do a few of those as you start to introduce movement into the body, transitioning out of our meditation time. Cleanse the body with those deep breaths in and a big sigh out of the mouth. It's really wonderful for the vagal tone. That's a real calming effect in the body, a clearing. And you make your way back to an upright position. So you feel your feet to the floor again. You can feel your bottom on the surface of your chair. You feel grounded. You feel your connection to this earth and to this space that you occupy. And it feels good. It feels right. If there's any movement your body still wants you to do, for me, it's always moving the head around, getting some stretching through my neck. We can feel how our body is adjusting now and ready for the next thing, ready for our next part of this day. But feeling refreshed, I hope, really refreshed and vitalized. Let's sync up our breath. Inhale with me, palms will be together overhead. Exhale, bow at your heart. Inhale back up. And when we exhale, let's share this tender, loving care with our community. Hands come back to the prayer position. We bow to ourselves. We bow to one another. Namaste, my friends. And thank you for joining me.